Most men think losing intimacy, energy, and confidence is just part of aging. But what if I told you it's not? In fact, the real problem starts deep inside a small gland most men never think about: your prostate. I'm Dr. Ron Peterson, a urologist with over 45 years of experience helping men reclaim their vitality, naturally, without pills or surgery. And today, I'm revealing 5 everyday fruits that can quietly shrink your prostate, improve blood flow, and help you sleep through the night again. You won't find these in your prescription bottle, but they might already be in your kitchen. So stay with me, because the fruit you eat this week could change how you feel as a man for years to come. Let me tell you about one of my patients, Mark, a retired firefighter in his early 70s. For years, Mark struggled with something he thought was just part of getting older. Every night he was waking up 4 or even 5 times to urinate. His sleep was constantly interrupted, and during the day, he felt drained, foggy, and increasingly frustrated. He tried cutting back on fluids, limiting coffee, even taking over-the-counter prostate support supplements. Nothing made a difference. That's when he came to see me. And after a quick discussion and some basic assessments, it became clear what was at the root of his issues: chronic inflammation of the prostate, something far more common than most men realize, and something quietly made worse by diet, stress, and time. What surprised Mark even more wasn't the diagnosis. It was the remedy I recommended. Not a pill, not surgery, just 2 small green fruits, kiwis. Now, most people don't think of kiwi as a powerful healing tool. It's often seen as a garnish, a tangy afterthought in a fruit salad, or something you forget about until it starts to shrivel in the fridge. But here's the truth. Kiwi is one of the most underrated anti-inflammatory foods available, especially when it comes to supporting the prostate. Kiwi is what I call a vitamin bomb. It's loaded with vitamin C, a powerful antioxidant that works at the cellular level to calm inflammation. You see, as men age, oxidative stress begins to build up in the prostate gland. This stress inflames the tissue, causes swelling, and leads to that uncomfortable feeling of pressure in the lower belly, frequent urges to urinate, and difficulty starting or stopping the stream. Vitamin C doesn't just float around in your system. It goes straight into the tissues where inflammation lives. In the case of the prostate, it helps reduce swelling, calm irritated nerves, and gradually relieve that constant gotta-go feeling that keeps so many men up at night. But kiwi's benefits don't stop there. Each kiwi is also packed with fiber, which quietly supports gut health, a lesser-known but crucial factor in hormonal balance. A healthier gut helps regulate estrogen and testosterone, reduces systemic inflammation, and even supports better mood and sleep. That's why improving digestion is often one of the first steps I take with patients like Mark. The best part? Kiwi is incredibly easy on the body. Unlike medications, which often come with side effects, kiwi works in harmony with your system. There are no crashes, no dependency, just slow, steady healing over time. After just 2 weeks of adding 2 kiwis a day to his morning routine, one with breakfast, one as a midday snack, Mark came back and said, "Doc, I don't know what's in that little fruit, but for the first time in years, I slept straight through the night." That's the kind of result that gets overlooked in traditional medicine. We often rush to prescribe or operate, but sometimes the body doesn't need more force. It needs more support. So if you're a man over 60 dealing with frequent urination, broken sleep, or that nagging discomfort deep in your lower belly, start with something simple. Add 2 kiwis to your day. Blend them into a smoothie, slice them into yogurt, or just eat them whole with a spoon. What matters most isn't how you eat them, it's that you eat them consistently. Because when it comes to healing, it's not about finding magic. It's about rediscovering what nature already gave us. And kiwi is one of the quiet powerhouses your prostate has been waiting for. If that surprised you, wait until you see what the next fruit can do. Let me introduce you to Carl, a 62-year-old man who came into my clinic looking more defeated than sick. He wasn't in acute pain, didn't have any major diagnoses, but you could see it in his eyes and posture. He was drained. "I don't feel sharp anymore, Doc," he said quietly. "Not in my body, not in my mind, and definitely not with my wife." Carl's story is more common than you might think. He wasn't talking about just low energy or occasional fatigue. What he was describing was a slow erosion of his sense of self as a man, something many men over 60 experience but rarely talk about. And here's the thing, his blood work was decent. His testosterone was low, but not alarming. His prostate was slightly enlarged, but nothing dramatic. So, what was going on? It came down to something deeper. Oxidative stress and chronic cellular aging, especially within the prostate and vascular system. And that's where blueberries come in. Most people think of blueberries as a healthy snack, a topping for pancakes, or something to mix into yogurt. But what most men don't realize is that these tiny berries are packed with powerful antioxidants, especially a group called anthocyanins. These compounds aren't just nice to have. They're essential if you want to protect your prostate, your brain, and your masculinity as you age. Let's break it down. Oxidative stress is a natural part of aging. But when left unchecked, it damages the cells of your prostate, accelerates inflammation, slows blood flow, and impairs your brain. This is why many men feel that mental fog, slow reaction times, or reduced clarity, just like Carl. Blueberries, however, fight oxidative stress at the cellular level. They help protect your DNA, reduce inflammation inside the prostate, and support blood vessels that carry oxygen and nutrients to your pelvic organs, including the ones responsible for intimacy and performance. Within 2 weeks of adding just a small bowl of fresh blueberries to his morning routine, Carl came back to me with a quiet smile. "You know what's weird?" he said. "I'm sleeping better. My mind feels clearer. And things with my wife? They're starting to feel more natural again." That's a power of consistent nourishment. This wasn't about a miracle. It was about giving his body what it had been missing. Real nutrients from whole food sources. When you feed your cells right, your body doesn't just function better. It starts to feel like you again. Blueberries also improve circulation, not just in your heart and brain, but in your lower body. That means more blood flow, better oxygen delivery, and yes, improved function in the bedroom too. And that improvement builds confidence, which then feeds into everything else. Your presence, your posture, your outlook. If you're a man in your 60s or beyond, here's my recommendation. Make blueberries part of your daily habit, just half a cup to 1 cup a day, with oatmeal, blended into a smoothie, or eaten straight out of the container. Don't wait until your next doctor visit to act. Don't wait until symptoms get worse. Start now, with something simple, powerful, and proven. Blueberries might be small, but in the fight against aging, inflammation, and the quiet loss of vitality, they are true warriors. And they're ready to go to work. For you. Which of these fruits is already in your fridge? Comment below with 1, 2, 3. Greg was a retired carpenter in his early 70s. Hands rough from decades of work, shoulders still broad, but his eyes told a different story. "I just don't feel like myself anymore," he admitted one morning in my office. "I'm tired. Not just tired in the body, but in here," he said, tapping his chest. Greg had always been the strong, silent type, but now he felt disconnected. From his wife, his drive, even his sense of masculinity. Blood tests showed low testosterone, and his prostate was mildly enlarged. He had tried medication in the past, but it left him feeling flat, emotionally dull, physically sluggish. Instead of adding more pills, I suggested something simpler. "Try half a glass of pomegranate juice every morning," I said. He raised an eyebrow. "Juice?" "Just juice," I smiled. "But not just any juice. It's been healing men for centuries. Pomegranate is one of the most ancient fruits used in traditional medicine to restore male vitality. Its deep crimson seeds have long been seen as a symbol of fertility, strength, and healing. And modern science now backs up what ancient cultures instinctively knew. What makes pomegranate so powerful? 2 key compounds: ellagic acid and polyphenols. These are natural plant nutrients that go far beyond basic antioxidant protection. Ellagic acid helps reduce oxidative damage in prostate tissue, while polyphenols support hormonal regulation, improving the balance between testosterone and estrogen, 2 hormones crucial for male energy, mood, and sexual function. In other words, this fruit doesn't just reduce symptoms, it restores function from the inside out. When inflammation takes hold in the prostate, it creates a cascade of effects: swelling, pressure on the bladder, frequent nighttime urination, and a slow, silent drop in sexual vitality. Pomegranate helps reverse that process. It cools the inflammation, reduces the internal swelling, and helps your cells repair. Within 2 weeks, Greg returned, noticeably lighter, not just in body, but in spirit. "I didn't just feel better down there," he said with a grin. "I felt like something inside me turned back on." That's the hidden magic of pomegranate. It doesn't just soothe symptoms. It reconnects you to a part of yourself you may have thought was long gone. Men often tell me that it's not just the physical benefits. It's the renewed confidence, the emotional clarity, the return of motivation. So how should you take it? Simple. Half a glass of pure, unsweetened pomegranate juice each morning. No sugar, no additives. Or if you prefer, eat the seeds straight, but be consistent. Healing doesn't happen overnight. But with daily use, this ancient fruit can gently and powerfully rebuild your prostate health and male vitality. Because sometimes the answer isn't in the pharmacy, it's in your fridge. And pomegranate might just be the ally your body has been waiting for. If that surprised you, wait until you see what the next fruit can do. Growing up, I remember summers at my grandfather's house. Every afternoon, without fail, he'd sit on the porch with a thick slice of watermelon in hand, juice dripping down his arms, laughing like a kid again. Back then, I just thought it was a sweet summer tradition. But now, as a men's health doctor with decades of experience, I understand what my grandfather probably never realized. He was unknowingly feeding his prostate one of the most powerful healing fruits on earth. Let's talk about watermelon, a fruit most men overlook. It's not exotic. It's not labeled as a superfood. But hidden in every juicy red bite is a powerful compound called lycopene, a potent antioxidant that plays a crucial role in reducing inflammation and supporting circulation, especially in the lower abdomen and pelvic region. One of my patients, Robert, a quiet 68-year-old man who loved gardening and reading, came to me complaining of constant lower belly pressure and weak, interrupted urine flow. "It's like I always have to go," he told me, "but when I try, nothing really happens." He was tired of the nightly bathroom trips, tired of the frustration. He didn't want to rely on medication just yet, so we started with a natural approach. My recommendation? 1 large slice of watermelon every afternoon, preferably chilled. Nothing fancy. No pills, just fruit. Why? Because watermelon delivers lycopene in a hydrating, easily absorbable form, and that's important. Unlike tomatoes, where lycopene becomes more effective when cooked, watermelon provides this nutrient raw, along with high levels of water and electrolytes that help flush the kidneys, soothe the urinary tract, and support smooth urination. After 2 weeks of this simple routine, Robert came back visibly more relaxed. "I didn't expect much," he said. "But I'm sleeping through the night now, and I just feel lighter, not as weighed down." That's the power of watermelon. It gently cools inflammation in the prostate, reduces internal swelling, and restores better urinary rhythm, something that's often disrupted by an aging or inflamed prostate. But the benefits don't stop there. Lycopene in watermelon also improves circulation, which is critical not only for heart health, but also for sexual function. Good blood flow means better delivery of oxygen and hormones to tissues, supporting stronger erections, better energy, and a more vibrant sense of masculinity. And don't forget, watermelon is also a natural hydrator. With over 90% water content, it helps maintain electrolyte balance, reduce urinary irritation, and support kidney function, all essential elements for prostate health and comfort. The best part? It's delicious, familiar, and affordable. You don't need to make a smoothie or cook it. Just slice and eat. And if you enjoy it consistently, especially in the hot summer months, your body will thank you. So if you're struggling with pressure, weak flow, or nighttime urgency, don't overlook this humble fruit. Because sometimes the answer isn't in a prescription. It's in something your grandfather already knew. A sweet, juicy slice of watermelon might just help you feel like yourself again. Marvin was 82 years old, a retired farmer with a lifetime of stories and strength behind him. But when he walked into my clinic, he wasn't himself. His steps were slower, his eyes tired. "What's wrong?" I asked. "It's hard to explain," he said. "I feel like something inside me has just shut off." Like many older men, Marvin wasn't dealing with one dramatic issue, but with a series of small, frustrating changes. Frequent nighttime urination, weaker flow, lower energy, and that sinking feeling that his vitality was quietly slipping away. After ruling out anything serious, I offered him something surprisingly simple. "Try a cup of warm tomato soup every morning," I said. "That's it?" He laughed. "That's it," I replied. "You see, tomatoes may seem ordinary, found in almost every kitchen, but they hold something extraordinary for men over 60. Lycopene. Lycopene is a powerful antioxidant that directly supports prostate health. And here's the key most people don't realize. Lycopene becomes up to 4 times more bioavailable when tomatoes are cooked. That means tomato soup, tomato paste, or even marinara sauce isn't just comfort food. It's powerful, science-backed medicine for your prostate. When lycopene enters the bloodstream, it targets inflammation in the prostate, reduces oxidative stress, and helps prevent cellular overgrowth that leads to enlargement. It also improves blood flow, both to the prostate and throughout the pelvic region, supporting better urinary function and even stronger erections over time. After just 2 weeks on his new morning ritual, Marvin returned to my office with a smile I hadn't seen before. "Doc," he said, "I feel like something turned back on." That's the difference consistency can make. One simple change. One fruit most of us overlook. And yet, it sparked a cascade of healing throughout Marvin's entire system. This is the kind of advice for elderly I wish more men heard. Not another medication, not another supplement, but natural, accessible solutions hiding in plain sight. Tomatoes aren't just rich in lycopene. They also provide vitamin C, vitamin K, and potassium, key nutrients for immune function, circulation, and tissue repair. For best results, I recommend the following: a cup of warm tomato soup each morning, a few spoonfuls of tomato paste added to meals, or a simple glass of low-sodium tomato juice, ideally warmed. Add a drizzle of olive oil to boost absorption even more. This combination has been shown to be one of nature's most effective tools for prostate health. And here's what I tell every patient: healing doesn't always require complexity. Sometimes the most powerful changes come from the smallest habits, especially when they're rooted in food, tradition, and care. So if you're a man over 60 dealing with prostate discomfort, fatigue, or loss of confidence, take this advice for elderly men seriously. Don't underestimate the tomato. It's not just food, it's fuel. Fuel for your hormones, fuel for your circulation, fuel for the man you still are. Let's quickly recap what we've learned today. Kiwi brings a burst of vitamin C to calm inflammation. Blueberries are powerful antioxidant protectors of your prostate and brain. Pomegranate helps restore cells and rebalance your testosterone. Watermelon boosts circulation and supports smooth urinary flow. And tomatoes, the humble kitchen staple, are your most powerful ally in shrinking the prostate and restoring function. If you take away just one thing, let it be this: you're not broken. You're not finished. You're just missing the right tools. And the next chapter of your health may not come from a pharmacy. It may already be sitting in your kitchen. This is real, natural healing. And it starts with your next bite. If today's video gave you hope, hit like, comment, yes, and share it with a man you care about. Because every man deserves to feel strong, rested, and confident again. And remember, you still matter, always.